Hello, welcome to Hucknall in Nottingham. I'm John O'Bullard, and welcome to this week's British Hockey Chat. Glad to have you along as ever. Please, if you could tweet out the link to this or retweet it, I've just put it on Twitter. Would be very grateful to get as many people in here as possible to join in the discussion. Of course, also a reminder for those that are watching and for those that are watching after the event that this will also be available as an audio podcast on all the usual podcast providers. And that should be live probably 10-15 minutes after the chat finishes here on YouTube. So just a reminder about that. Before we begin in earnest with the questions, I'm just retweeting something else from my Twitter account. Which is at John O'Bullard. Very, very important. It's a tweet that's come from Out of Context Sheffield Steelers. It's been retweeted by David Sims. It regards a Steelers fan called Jay Dewsbury, who has gone missing. They are very, very worried about him. All the details are on the tweet that I've just sent, just to say that for anybody in the Sheffield area who is watching, he has got a Fiesta ST 200 registration R25JDD. It's in a grey colour. He's left very worrying messages, and I think that his family and his friends obviously very, very concerned about him. So if you just have a look at that tweet, please retweet it. Let's get that out as far and wide, because he's really, really important. Like I say, he seems that he is a Steelers fan. He seems to be very troubled, and they need to get in touch with him as quickly as possible. So please, if you could retweet that out, I'd be very, very grateful as well. Okay, just a reminder that we've had a few questions, but if you want to leave a question during the chat or comment on any of the discussion, then we've got the chat box, which is as I'm looking at the screen, it's just to the right-hand side. I'm not sure how it's set up on your computers or phones and such. And also, you can send them to me on Twitter at John O'Bullard. I am monitoring both as we go on. I'll move that out of the way so I can see the chat and the questions. But we're going to kick off with a question regarding tomorrow night's game. So for those that I've not been keeping up to date with the scores from tonight, Coventry Blaze are currently leading Guildford Flames in Guildford by 2-0. I think that's in the second period. And also in the second period, the Belfast Giants taking on the Glasgow Clan in Braehead, and the Giants are leading by 4-0. Glasgow with a much needed win to keep their lead at the top of the Elite League if it stays like that. Have I remembered to hit record on Audacity? Yes, I have. And Chris Gadsby's in, finally getting a chance to watch it live. So welcome along, Mr. Gadsby. A pleasure to have your company. Chris earlier tonight did the women's football YouTube chat. So, Chris, if you can pop the link in the chat and we'll direct everyone to that as well. So, first question comes from Jo Wright, and I believe she is a Manchester Storm fan. But correct me if I'm wrong, Jo, if you are watching. And she just says, Manchester versus Sheffield tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. Yes, very much looking forward to it. Very, very much looking forward to it. It should be a belting game. So I'm commentating on that on the Manchester Storm webcast tomorrow. First time I've got a chance to commentate on the Steelers this season. And of course, I think it's a massive game, a massive game in the context for the Manchester Storm. And they need the points to stay in touch with the playoff qualification race. So it's a must win for them. For the Sheffield Steelers, looking at the Belfast score tonight, it's a must win for them with regards challenging Belfast for that Elite League lead. The Elite League title is a 2-horse race now between Sheffield and Belfast. Apologies. So Sheffield have to win, Manchester have to win. I think that has the potential to be an absolutely barnstorming game, especially in that rink. A couple of weeks ago, Manchester played the Belfast Giants, um, but and it was all Giants up till the end of the second period. They were 5-1 ahead. And then the Storm came back in the third period, scoring 4 unanswered goals to take it into overtime, where Giants got the overtime winner. An absolute barnstormer of a game. And I think that's the thing with the Altrincham rink, is that it has that ability to produce absolutely outstanding games, because the ice is a bit unpredictable, the boards are a bit unpredictable. It's a smaller rink. Teams don't like going to play there. So I think that tomorrow night's game has the potential to be an absolute cracker. And I am really, really looking forward to calling it. Really looking forward to it. Obviously, I'm hoping for a Storm win. There's a little bit of bias there, and I'm not going to deny it. But the Steelers have got the quality. From doing my prep, the Steelers have won every game against Storm so far this season. So tomorrow will be a good time for the Manchester Storm to stop that record in its tracks. But the Steelers definitely go into that game as the hot favourites for that one. So if you can't get down to Altrincham tomorrow night, there will be a webcast available, manchesterstorm.tv. So if you pop that into your browser by the webcast, I'm pretty certain it'll be a great game, and you will not be disappointed if you do choose to buy the webcast and watch it. And Zach Sullivan will be on commentary with me again tomorrow night, providing his invaluable insights. So I very much look forward to him joining me as well. So definitely, if you can watch that, have a watch, because I think it will be a belter, an absolute belter. Let's have a look. Watch Jono so I can watch the cup final and he gets paid. Well, of course, it's the cup. It's the second leg of the national cup final tomorrow, isn't it? Is it Telford Sheffield? Sheffield 6-3 up from that first leg. Zach is good. Yeah, he is. He's brilliant on co-commentary, as you well know, Chris. I've been done Storm commentary as well. It's great to have a player, someone who knows the locker room, someone who knows the ice, someone who knows the players, to be able to provide an invaluable insight that I just cannot provide, because I don't have that closeness with the Storm locker room. Plus, his knowledge of the game is absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, it's a pleasure to commentate with him. It really is, because he knows so much about the game, and also it allows me to let someone else speak while I can write a few things down or check some notes. So that's always a good one. Sully is a top bloke, smart lad, former double winner in Basingstoke as well, which makes him extra quality. Yes, I did ask him if he knew you, because I knew he was from Basingstoke, and he spoke very highly of you, Anthony. You'll be pleased to know. So that was very nice. Let's have a look. HI, opinions on Hedberg's performance in Belfast. I was there, and I think his performance was outstanding on the Friday, but on the Saturday, I thought he played quite bad, like he usually does. I didn't see any of the games from Belfast at the weekend, so I can't really comment. I've seen the goal on the highlights, and it's a beautifully worked goal with a beautiful pass from Jeremy Welsh. So yeah, it was nice to see him get that monkey off his back in regards being able to score his first goal. Let's hope there's many more between now and the end of the season. Next question, and I do have to make an apology for this one, because it's from Mark PAC, or at Mr. Pack 75 on Twitter, and he sent this last week, and somehow I managed to miss it off, even though I had it down on my list. So I do apologise, Mark. But his question was: have Panthers hit form at the right time for the playoffs? So I think just the one loss in Belfast in the last 5, which is a really, really good run. But there's still quite a bit of hockey to be played. I think still 7 games for the Panthers. So I think reassess that probably at the end of the season, see what the form is like for the last few games. But the form has been very good recently. The 3-0 victory against Sheffield was excellent, excellently coached. A 4-2 win away in Belfast was absolutely phenomenal, especially considering the Panthers were 2-0 down very, very early on in that one. To come back and win 4-0 against a team who we'd not had a real sniff against all season was very pleasing. And then, of course, losing on Saturday night, but you were not going to expect a team of the quality of Belfast to lose at home 2 nights on the trot. Not a chance. So very, very pleasing form going towards the playoffs. But obviously, the Steelers on Saturday, that'll be a tough game in Sheffield, especially with them chasing that title along with Belfast. And then a home game against is it Cardiff on Sunday. So it's going to be a tough weekend. So let's see where we are after this weekend. But the form at the moment is very, very pleasing, and obviously that's going to give the players confidence. It's going to give them a boost. It's going to give them momentum, which hopefully they can carry into the playoffs. Still not confirmed qualifying yet, but I think that's only a matter of time for the Panthers. And I think it's looking like more and more like the fourth place of the Elite League is pretty much nailed on for Panthers. We'll move on, and obviously quite a few questions about the Panthers season ticket prices, which have come out this evening. I can see one from Chansu92 on Twitter, which has been sent in. And he says, the Panthers owe season ticket holders 5 games from the cancelled 1920 season. We've had 3 so far. The playoff quarterfinal will be the 4th. What do you think they will do about the 5th, as there's no opportunity for another game this season? They've already announced this. It was on the press release for the season tickets that it will be a game next season that they will decide on. So that has been announced this evening. It's in the press release for the Panthers put out with their season ticket prices. So it is going to be carried over into next season. I believe it would have been the second leg or the first leg, or one of the home leg anyway of the Challenge Cup semi-final, but because that was reduced to one leg because of the fixture congestion and that was played in Belfast, obviously the opportunity wasn't there to offer that as one of the makeup games. So it's going to be carried into next season, which I think is fair enough. At AdamRP89 on Twitter, and I've seen him earlier. He was putting he put something in the chat. He asked, "What do I think about the Panthers season ticket prices?" So for those that don't know or haven't seen, the season ticket prices came out this evening. £450 for an adult gold ticket, £400 for an adult silver ticket, which is where I sit, and I think it was £370 for an adult bronze ticket. So all prices have been increased across the board. I think £35 in gold, £30 in silver. Not sure on bronze, but there has been an increase, which I suppose is to be expected, considering the cost of living increase, which will mean the arena will have to increase their costs. Therefore, that will be passed on to their tenants, in this case, the Panthers, who will then pass it on to their season ticket holders. Not surprised at that at all. I was actually expecting it to be a bigger rise than what it was. So, for £400, and it's also for one extra game this season, 26 games. This season's season ticket is for 25. Bit of a personal bugbear because there's 27 games in a league season. Why can't it be for 27 games? Because that is a season ticket. So it's a bit of a difficult one. So I would also like to see Challenge Cup games, group games, certainly included in the season ticket. But what I'm doing is teams announce their season ticket prices, I'm logging them, and then we can see who's the best value, because some teams offer different number of games. So Sheffield, for example, theirs is £400, but for 25 games, for example, and that is an early bird figure, and then that will go up once the early bird date is over. Anthony says a price increase is not unexpected and not entirely unreasonable. Is it worth £450 for the top price tier when you don't get every game of the season? I wouldn't pay £450 personally for a season ticket. To be honest, I don't like tiered pricing anyway. There is not a bad seat in the house at the NIC. I do not understand for the life of me why it is one price, because it just doesn't make sense for me. I don't understand why you pay more to sit in one block than you would in another. Oh, that guy that went missing has been found and he's with the police. Excellent news. Excellent news. So, thanks for letting me know about that, Adam. So, obviously, hopefully, he gets the help that he needs. All right, just go back to this. So, yeah, so I don't like tiered pricing at all. I think it should just be one price across the board. But a personal bugbear of mine. Whether I will get a season ticket, I'm 99% certain that I won't be renewing, for the simple reason that work gets in the way. I've missed quite a few games this season. And looking at my work schedule, I don't think I'm going to see another game this season. I may see one if the cricket I'm working at finishes early and I can get to the game, but that's difficult. And I may get to the playoff quarter final, but I missed a lot of games, and it's just not cost effective for me to have a season ticket. I'd be better off paying game by game when I go. And also, I'm hoping to do quite a few Storm commentary games next season if they'll have me back. So obviously, if they clash with Panthers games, then I'm going to be in Manchester. I'm not going to be in Nottingham. So I'm pretty certain that I won't be renewing my season ticket this season. I saw there was sort of a mixed reaction online towards the season ticket prices, which is to be expected, I suppose. But yeah, it's a difficult one. I actually think £400 is quite reasonable for 26 games of hockey. If I do a quick workout of that, because they put the price on each 20. So the price of a game ticket where I sit is going to be £22.50 next season. So 400 divided by 23, and it works out at £15.38 a game if you go to every game. So you need to go to every game to make it cost effective, but I think that's quite good value at £15.38 a game. For Elite League hockey, I think that's pretty reasonable. It's only just 38p more than paying for a stream. Glenn's bought his Steelers season ticket. More money than sense, Glenn. Predictions for the score on Saturday: Sheffield versus Panthers, and who do you think will get the start? I think Sheffield will win 3-2 or 4-3, possibly overtime. Who do I think will get the start? Stojanovic, because I know Bruce has been injured, and it's whether they want to risk him. But I would say Stojanovic gets the start. I would think Stojanovic will get the start tomorrow in Manchester as well. GB Ice Hockey Future, hello to you. He says it only costs £2,000 if you're an aftermarket fan that wants to watch streams only. I suppose if you £15 a game, it's going to add up. If you aren't actually going to the games, it certainly is, and you watch every game. GB Hockey Future again. Do I have any favourites at GB under 18s? They have gone out for their World Championships in Tallinn and Estonia. So they are on their way there. Jack Hopkins with the team. So I expect he will be one of the top scorers, certainly, in that competition. One of the players I was really interested, actually, who was chosen in the squad but hasn't gone, is Milik Martelli, who I've not seen for a while since pre-COVID when he was at juniors. So I was really interested to see how he would do. So it's a shame he's not gone out. Liam Steele, of course, going out there as well, who is earmarked to be part of the NHL draft, or is certainly being talked about in the NHL draft. So that's another guy to keep an eye on. Of course, they were Hopkins and Steele were both in the GB under 20 squad as well in Romania in December. Kane Russell is the flavour of the month in Basingstoke at the Mo. The kid was on our top line in place of an injured Ashley Tate. Superb job. Yes, I heard a lot of good things about Kane Russell. So I'd be interested to see how he gets on out there as well. £400 for 26 Elite League games isn't terrible, but £15 odd is what EIHL prices should be. In fact, NIHL tickets are knocking that price. It is getting a bit awkward. I think the thing is because costs are increasing so much that the prices are increasing so much. I can't imagine it's cheap to run an ice rink, and those costs are going to get passed on to whoever owns the hockey team, and those hockey team owners are going to pass those costs on to their fans. That is, unfortunately, it's the way it works. I agree. I would love it to be £10 a game, but I don't think we're ever going to get to that point. It's only going to go up and up and up. But when do you get to a point where you start pricing people out? I think that's going to be where there's going to be a problem, and where a happy medium needs to be reached. Because you don't want to be treating the fans as cash cows. I know some clubs do, but it's sort of getting that way. It's getting to the point where it is a very, very getting to be a very expensive night out, especially if you're a family of four. Let's have a look at. Am I doing the Storm commentary on Sunday? Yes, I am doing Storm commentary tomorrow. And also doing Storm commentary on Sunday. So both Steelers games coming up, and then the Cardiff game the following week as well. So yes, very much enjoy doing the commentary at the Storm. Ellipsis, £10 a game. Laughs in Blaze student prices. Oh, bloody students getting in cheap, getting all the flats built. Can't move in Nottingham for student flats. It gives some people something to moan about on the online Evening Post or whatever it's called now, Nottingham Live, I think. All right, let's crack on. Craig Bond asks, how much do you think Panthers is worth if Neil Black was to sell? And I saw a reply to that, which I think was from Adam, which said, he'd have 15 million quid. It is not even close to being worth 15 million quid, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the sort of figure that Neil Black had in mind. It's difficult to assess how much the Panthers is worth because they don't really own anything. Now, one thing that could affect the value is if they own property, and I'm not sure that they do, whether they do or don't, as in the property that the players live in. I think I don't know whether they rent or they own the offices that they've got just across the road from the arena. Obviously, they rent the arena, so they don't own that. So the only thing that they really own is the equipment and probably the image rights. But there's also the potential as well. You've got a hockey team that is drawing in average crowds of about 4,500. They have been as high as 6,000 average crowds pre-COVID. So there's a potential there to make an awful lot of money with the Nottingham Panthers. I strongly believe, but As for a price, I don't know, and it's whether he wants to sell as well. There's been a lot of speculation that he might be wanting to sell, but I don't know how true that is. I would love him to sell because I keep saying I'd love someone fresh to come in. I'd love someone with new ideas to come in. Um, but I think he's going to be looking at a price in the millions without any shadow of a doubt. You're looking, um, I would think at least, and this is totally off the top of my head, I would think you'd be looking at least 3 million quid, at least. And Neil Black will possibly want more. So, yeah, it's a lot of money for someone to take on. Uh, for 50, not 50 million, 15 million, 1 5, Anthony. But yeah, for 50 million, I want the Panthers, the clan, and a trip on SpaceX. To be honest, in them sort of prices, it's probably only Elon Musk who'd ever be able to afford to buy it. Mind you, just say everything will be run on electric. But imagine the players' cars. Oof. So yeah, it's pure speculation, but I think you're looking at least 3 million quid if Neil Black wants to sell, and who knows? Who knows? Next question comes from Richard Bradley. He says, "Which player has surprised you the most this season with their performances, and who has disappointed you?" Player that has surprised me the most, to be perfectly honest, has been Robbie Bayagian for the simple reason that he came in after being retired for 2 years. So came out of retirement to play for the Panthers and has done reasonably well. He's the top goal scorer for Panthers. And I know he at Milton Keynes, he was the top point scorer, or was one of the top point scorers, but we're talking 3 seasons ago there. So yeah, Bayagian for me has been the biggest surprise because I've got to be honest, I didn't expect much from him for the simple reason he'd been out of the game for so long. Biggest disappointment, unfortunately, I have to say it's got to be Edwin Hepburn. Looking at his pedigree, looking at where he played, I expected so much more from him. He's clearly very skillful, and he's got something in the locker, as that goal on Friday night showed. But yeah, for what he's only 27 as well. I think he's played in the SHL. I think I think we should have got more from him than we have. So those would be the one who surprised me and the one who has disappointed me the most with regard to Panthers. Okay. Glyn says Panthers are worth as much as someone will pay. Absolutely. And how much would be accepted? I'd say 2.5 million, maybe 3 million. Neil probably wants 5 million plus. I would agree that he will want 5 million plus as well. Ellipsis, I'm heading up to Notts for the game on Sunday. Any tips or tricks for the City and/or rink? First away match with the Blaze, so very excited. Of course, it's Blaze that we're playing on Sunday and not Cardiff. Don't park in Stony Street car park if you're bringing a car because you need a mortgage because it's not expensive. If you are driving, go to one of the tram park and ride sites. And it's £2.50 on the tram with your ticket return, so that's very cost effective. Drinks, you've got the pubs, you've got the Nottingham Legend one side, and you've got the Bunkers Hill Inn the other side if you want to go to the pub. So yeah, and obviously Blaze fans sit in block 2, so that is where you will be. But enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. Wouldn't it be cheaper to buy a smaller club and put them in the arena rather than buy the Panthers? More risk, but more reward. Yeah, but you've got you've got an established team in the Panthers who've been around for many, many years. I think there is a lot of risk because I think a lot of people wouldn't accept that, especially Panthers fans. Are you going to erase all that history to bring in a new team? But or are you talking about just buying a smaller club and putting them in an arena that may be available? Mm, I can't see that happening as well. Especially as I think all the arenas that have got ice rinks already have teams, and there'd have to be a lot of investment in other arenas. I'm thinking Liverpool. I'm thinking Manchester Arena, which now hasn't got an ice plant. As two prime examples where you would have to invest a lot of money to put ice rinks in them. Oh, you mean in a different city, not Nottingham? Yeah. So let's take Liverpool as an example. You want to buy a team, put them in Liverpool, but you'd have to invest in putting an ice rink in Liverpool Arena. So that is going to cost an awful lot of money. Because obviously Sheffield's got an ice rink and a team. Nottingham's got an ice rink and a team. Belfast ice rink and a team. I don't think any other of the bigger arenas have actually got an ice rink. I think the O2 in London maybe have, but that is going to cost an absolute fortune. So I think you've got what you've got with regards to arena teams at the minute. I don't think there's going to be any more in the foreseeable future. Ellipsis, taking the train, so we'll still need a mortgage. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Okay, I'm at my final question. We're had a week where we're not inundated for once, which is quite nice. Does Birmingham have one at the NIC? No, it's whenever. The last time they had ice hockey at the NIC was for the old Autumn Cup finals, and we're talking mid-80s here. They put a temporary rink in for those. So no, there isn't an ice plant at the NEC or at the NIA, which is in the centre of Birmingham. And they can't put an ice rink in there because there's a car park that sits underneath the arena floor. So it can't be done, unfortunately. It could be done at the NIC, but again, you have to have the investment to put the ice rink in, unfortunately. So the final question comes from David Stevenson. So if you've got any more, Twitter at John O'Bullard or pop them in the chat and I will get to them after I've done this one. And David Stevenson says to me, if you could take one at the Panthers next season, what would it be? Luke Ferrara for a goal scoring Brit. Linden Springer as a tough D-man who appears to be having his best Elite League season to date. Or Omar Pacha as coach that would have the best budget he's ever had since being a head coach and then allowing him to build a squad. I take all three. I mean, I can't see Luke Ferrara going anywhere but staying at Coventry, but I'd have him at Panthers tomorrow. Like you say, goal scoring Brit. Linden Springer, I've been massively impressed with Linden Springer from what I've seen of him this season. Tough as nails, but a really, really good D-man as well. And I know Sheffield fans don't like him, but I would definitely have him on the Panthers roster as the D-man, especially having that bit of toughness. So yes, I would happily have Linden Springer in a Panthers shirt next season. Omar Pacha as coach, absolutely. I'd love to see what Pacha could do with a budget. I don't think he'd have a budget to challenge the likes of Sheffield, Cardiff, Belfast, if I'm honest. But I'd like to see what he could do with that budget because he's consistently kept Dundee punching above their weight. And this season they are punching above their weight. He's done wonders with that squad. And he does wonders with pretty much every squad he gets in Dundee. So I think out of three, if I was only allowed to choose one, it would be Omar Pacha as coach, followed by Linden Springer, and then Luke Ferrara. But I think the only one that's probably realistically could happen would be Linden Springer. But who knows before next season? Who knows? HI, opinions on Dave Whistle. I like Dave Whistle. I was very pleased when Panthers recruited him. And I think there's been a noticeable improvement now. Now he's got settled in his role. I think the victory against Sheffield, the 3-0 victory, very much had his hallmark over it. I think he knew that Sheffield are a better team than us, but I think he produced a game plan which meant Sheffield couldn't play their natural game. If for anyone who was there, you look at it, as soon as anyone in a white and orange shirt had the puck, there was a Panthers player on them. They gave him absolutely no time whatsoever. And I think that was purely a Dave Whistle coach victory, because Sheffield were better than us throughout that game. But we just I just think he just found a way to beat Sheffield. And it was great to watch. It really, really was. So yeah, I like Dave Whistle. I'm on the fence of whether I would want him back as head coach next season. I think I'd like to try somebody younger, like Omar Pacha, like Ryan Finnerty, but someone who knows the league as well, because I think that's really important. That goes back to a question I answered last week, or talked about last week, with regards coaches coming in who know the league and being more successful than brand new coaches. So I think if Panthers were to go down the new coach route, it has to be someone who knows the elite league for me. I see. What do I think about Panthers having about 10 different special edition shirts, even though they have a new one each month? Feels like it isn't a special edition shirt anymore. I don't mind charity ones. I didn't like the St. Patrick's Day ones because we're not Irish. I don't mind. Like I say, I don't mind charity ones. But the thing I have with having so many different shirts every season is that it waters down the identity. What colour are we? You know, Sheffield, they're orange. Belfast are teal. You know, Coventry are blue. What are Panthers? And yeah, black and gold. But you know, there's such a mishmash of colours within the shirts that I think it really erodes the identity. But I think you've got a good point about a special edition shirt. How is it special edition when there's so many of them? I can totally see your point there. Okay, any more questions before I toddle off? Don't forget that this will be available as audio only, so you don't have to look at my face, which can only be a good thing. You can just listen to my voice instead. And just a reminder that the Storm webcast tomorrow and on Sunday, I will be commentating on both of those games against the Steelers. They should be absolute belters. So do consider buying them if you could, or if you can get to the rink in Altrincham. Go and buy a ticket, and I don't think you will be disappointed. Okay. Nice hoodie. Yes, my cross-check Great Britain. I do very much like this hoodie. I've got the T-shirt as well. Yeah, no. Show my support for the under-18 boys as they're about to take on Division 2A of the World Championships in Tallinn, in Estonia, a rink I know very well, having been out there to broadcast before, and it is a very, very nice rink. Okay, let's leave it there. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined. Thank you so much for all the comments. They are appreciated, and you make the show. So, you know, without your questions, without your input, we don't have a discussion. So thank you so much for that. Have a great week, everyone. Enjoy your hockey wherever you are watching it, and I will chat to you again next week. If you have any questions in the meantime, please do send them in at John O'Bullard on Twitter, and I will save them for next week's chat, which is likely to be Tuesday. It may be Monday because I've got some work on next week, but we'll see how it goes, and I will keep an eye on my Twitter, and I will let you know for definite. Quick one, Chris Phillips, Andrew Lord as coach. If he's available, I will absolutely take Andrew Lord as coach. Definitely. I'm not sure he will be available though. I haven't really looked, but I thought he was doing okay in the ECHL with the Swamp Rabbits. So we'll see. We shall see. But if he became available, I'd certainly tell. I saw Doug Christensen was available as well. He's another coach I would like to see in Nottingham. So maybe that's an option. Okay, I think we'll leave it there. As Ellipsis says, thanks. Bye. Enjoy your trip to Nottingham on Sunday, Ellipsis. Who am I going for to win the league? Whoever wins that 3-game series between Sheffield and Belfast. But I think from the teams I've seen, Belfast are the best team in the league for me. So I will still pin my colours to the mast and say Belfast are going to win the league. But I think a lot depends on those three games between Belfast and Sheffield that are to come. 2 of which, of course, in Sheffield. So yeah, I think that would be very interesting. For those that are still watching, it is now Clan 1, Giant 7. So not a close game there. In fact, that has just been announced as a result. So Clan 1, Giant 7. So that's a big win for Belfast. Puts pressure back on the Sheffield Steelers for tomorrow night in Manchester. And it's also the Guildford Flames 1, Coventry Blaze 2. So right, definitely now, I will say thank you very much and good night. Enjoy your hockey this weekend. And I will speak to you next week, everyone. Take care and have a good one. Bye-bye.